Character is everything. The objective of TEC is to prove to the client that you're a real person with a real life and a real family. The more human you are, the less car salesman you will be. This is the power of it.
In this segment, I'm going to share with you how to let others do your selling for you. And only high-performance sales professionals sell by way of referral, testimonial letters, audio and/or videos of introduction from satisfied clients, all of which are excellent choices. Every product on the market today has a brochure that is not only informative, but also makes the product even more attractive. So, where's yours? The greatest product there ever was. Where's your brochure? I'm talking about your TEC, Testimonial Evidence of Character. Your TEC is more than just a brochure. It's the bridge of humanity that spans the gap between you and your potential client. What is a TEC manual? A small half-inch white binder with family photos, outstanding achievement awards, colored copies of trade publications, consumer reports, and satisfied client testimonial letters on assorted colorful stationery with referrals and photos of happy clients. It's all inserted neatly in clear plastic sheets assembled in a single binder. Now make sure that your TEC is uniquely you. In this particular case, I had my son draw my cover. You could have your children draw yours. And if you don't have children, be creative. Do it yourself. You've got to have a little creative flair. Or you can write with a magic marker what they say on the front of it. Yeah, that's attractive. Include photos that show your family history, your hobbies, special events. A picture tells a story and is worth 1,000 words. Also, be sure to include diplomas, awards, certificates, and yes, that photo when you were catching the football and you scored the touchdown. Don't do it if you fumbled. But, you know, when you had hair. I'm sorry. Have fun developing your TEC. I'm not really sorry. Everything in it will show your potential client that you are a real person and not a stereotypical car salesman. By telling one of the greatest stories ever told, the story of you. Now, if you don't have a client testimonial letter, where do you find one? First, have your son, daughter, wife, or husband write a letter for you, sharing with your potential client why they should buy from you. Be sure to add a photo of who wrote the letter. This will provide authenticity to the content. In my TEC, there's a letter from my daughter when she was 7 years old, written on Hello Kitty paper. You'll be surprised, even humbled, to hear what they really have to say.
Why I think you should buy a car from my dad. My dad is the father of 5 children. He has helped me through my life, so I think you should help him with his business. Everyone has troubles in their life, but God is putting my dad to the test every day. God has blessed us so much. Our dad is a very hard worker, and he deserves to have people listen to him and respect him and what he does to support my family. My dad is willing to give up his life for me and everyone else in our household. This is why I think you should give a little time and money to listen to my dad and buy a car from him. I love my dad and respect him, so you should too. Your friend, Courtney.
Yeah, I know. Now, if that doesn't pull at your heartstrings. Next, strategically place trade publications that show how your product outshines the competition. Examples are Road and Track, Car and Driver, Consumer Reports, and Buyer's Guides. Once you've put your TEC manual together, the next step is presenting it correctly. When your potential client is seated comfortably, present your TEC and say empathetically,
Mrs. Spencer, I understand what a big decision is to purchase a vehicle like you are today and how uncomfortable it can be at times. My wife and I think so too.
At this point, open up to the first page featuring your family photo. Then share a testimonial letter of a recent client with similar needs and concerns saying,
I also have a letter here from a client who recently purchased, who probably had some of the same concerns you're having now or some of the same questions.
Following this should be a trade publication presenting your product in the best possible light. At this time, say,
I need to get some information off your new vehicle, and I'll need the keys to your old one so I can have it appraised.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Leave your TEC in their hands, the brochure on the real product, you, thereby taking the focus off the deal. Remember, beginning the negotiating process can be somewhat uncomfortable for your potential client. You can take the edge off by offering them something to put them at ease. At the same time, build their confidence in the real product, you, in whom they must put their trust. This helps them cross over the threshold of a purchasing decision as quickly and painlessly as possible. Now, at this point, you've left your TEC in your potential new client's hands, and at this moment, they're left to read it at their leisure, beginning with the testimonial letter. Why the testimonial letter? When your potential client reads a letter that your previously satisfied client has taken the time and effort to write on colorful stationery in their own handwriting, it builds consumer confidence in the real product, you. It also helps the potential client to identify with your previous client's needs and concerns and to see how you overcame those concerns and met their needs, all the while earning respect, trust, and business. So how do you get this letter? At the point that your potential client shakes your hand, giving you their word of commitment to purchase the vehicle, politely excuse yourself, saying,
Congratulations, Mrs. Spencer, on your new vehicle. I need to go get your vehicle ready for delivery. I'll be right back, okay?
Return quickly with colorful stationery and pen in hand and say humbly and politely,
Forgive me, Mrs. Spencer. This is always a little embarrassing, but I'm supposed to ask you for a letter based on my performance, and it's placed in my service record. But at the end of each week, they read these letters in our sales meeting, and the sales professional who gets the best letter gets a little bonus. So I want to thank you in advance for helping with that. I'm going to go check on your vehicle. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
excuse yourself immediately and expectantly leave the stationery and the pen in front of your client, provided that you have been charming, enthusiastic, sincere, in short, have performed excellently. Your now new client will be more than obliging. When you return in no more than 5 minutes, keep the excitement up, saying,
Mrs. Spencer, your vehicle's almost ready.
Then your new client, handing you the letter, will say,
Oh, I hope this is okay.
Your response should be,
Oh, I'm certain whatever you've written is perfect. Thank you very much.
Pause and turn to walk away, saying,
I'm going to go fill up your gas tank because I know you're probably going to want to show this off to all your friends, so I'll be right back.
Remember, if you appear to be a hero to your client, working in their best interest, they're more than likely to reciprocate in kind. Dig the cape. Now, turn back to your new client and say,
Oh, I know, I almost forgot.
At this point, say this.
Please, write down the names and numbers of the first 3 people that you can think of that you're going to show the vehicle to. I have a nice gift for them. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Excuse yourself for no longer than 3 to 5 minutes. Return and say enthusiastically,
Your new vehicle's almost ready, Mrs. Spencer.
The average client's response will be,
I can only think of 2 people.
you should answer with,
Oh, that's okay. I'll be calling you in a few days to see how you're enjoying your new vehicle. I'll get the other one from you at that time.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
This is important. It sets up your follow-up contact. Remember, never use the term referral when asking for a referral. Be sure to have a photo taken with your new client. Then add it to their letter in your TEC. Putting your client's face with their testimonial letter, it lends credibility and value to the real product, you. Remember, keep things exciting. People purchase based on the transfer of emotion through logical conclusions, and everything is a sale, even obtaining this letter. The sales professional earns a testimonial letter with referrals in the same way the valet, the bellman, or the waiter earns tips. Welcome to the real world of selling, the elite of the fleet, where you hunt or you're the hunted. It should be no surprise that customer satisfaction index scores increase dramatically when the client reminds themselves by way of the testimonial letter what a wonderful, pleasant experience they had with you. An ultimate image, sales professional.
What is a TEC? A small, half-inch white binder that contains clear plastic sheets filled with family photos, outstanding achievement awards, color copies of trade publications, consumer reports, and testimonial letters. Satisfied client testimonial letters are an important part of your TEC. These letters are written on assorted, colorful stationery with referrals listed on them. If you have yet to receive a testimonial letter from a client, you can use one that is written by a member of your family. Either way, letters in your TEC should be accompanied by a photo of the person who wrote them. Also, any awards should be accompanied by photos of you at the time you received them. Why photos? Because a picture tells a story and is worth 1,000 words. When people see pictures of your family, your boot camp graduation, or your wedding, you become relatable. People purchase based on the transfer of emotions through logical conclusions. Everything in your TEC will show your potential client that you're a real person and not the stereotypical car salesman by telling one of the greatest stories ever told, the story of you, while giving your customer something to do during the most stressful period of the buying process. Your TEC is another reminder that you are the real product. The vehicle is merely a mode of transportation.